A cold and brutal campaign of violence is given suitably chilling treatment by director John McNaughton now on FilmFour. Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer. This version has been certified 18 for home video release and contains graphic scenes of violence which some viewers may find disturbing.
When financiers at American film company MPI first set eyes on John McNaughton's rough cut of Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer, their now legendary response was to throw their hands in the air and exclaim, "What is this? You're supposed to be making a horror film. Where's the blood? Where's the tits? For God's sake, this is art!" Which, of course, it is. Inspired by, but crucially not based on, the exploits of convicted serial killer Henry Lee Lucas, John McNaughton's debut feature is a classic piece of insurgent filmmaking, a movie that comes on like a stalk and slash horror flick, but which then asks the audience exactly what they think they're doing looking for entertainment in a movie about a murderer. Featuring powerhouse performances from Michael Rooker and Tom Towles, both of whom went on to greater things, and more strikingly still from Tracy Arnold, of whom sadly little has been seen since, Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer offers us the bleakest possible vision of people whose lives are so impoverished that murder, incest and misery seem reasonable recreational pastimes.
Did you really kill your mama?
What?
Did you really kill your mama?
I guess I did.
How'd it happen?
I stabbed her.
Otis said you hit her with a baseball bat.
Otis in there?
Yeah.
Well, he's mistaken.
No cynical judgment or trite psychological sources are offered to let the audience explain away the atrocities depicted here, with McNaughton and co-writer Richard Fire going to great lengths to undermine even Henry's own version of the roots of his sickness.
Look at the world. It's either you or them. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
Good.
In the end, we're left with nothing but the spectacle of these crimes and the unnerving suspicion that we, the viewer, may somehow be complicit in the society from which they were bred. Now, this was always going to be a tough call for the censors, and predictably in America, Henry went out in an unrated version, whilst here in Britain it was heavily cut first for the cinema and then again for video. Most damagingly, the British censors actually re-edited one crucial sequence in which the killers watch a video of their crime, a scene which McNaughton had designed to implicate the viewers in the killer's voyeurism, but which in its restructured form loses most of its subversive power.
What are you doing?
I want to see it again.
Still, even in its butchered form, there is much to be impressed and appalled by, from Ken Hale and Stephen Jones' gratingly edgy score to Tracy Arnold's blankly trusting features and Rooker and Towles' relentlessly deadpan conversations about the thrillingly dull practice of murder.
Where'd you get this?
Careful, Otis. It's loaded.
Where'd you get it?
Guns are easy to get. I can make a phone call and get a gun. Anybody can get a gun, Otis.
What do you got in mind, Henry?
What do you think?
Despite a smattering of high-profile critical plaudits, some people do find Henry just too much to take.
Otis, plug it in.
Most rewardingly, Henry Lee Lucas himself claimed to be morally outraged by the very idea of the film, which I take as the very highest form of praise. Don't expect an easy ride then, and remember, this is not an endurance test. As McNaughton himself has said, if it becomes too difficult to watch, then Henry has probably served its purpose.